Hey guys, so this week Jenna's talking about creating high performance coaches, but we had to pre-record her video because she's a slave and she works crazy hours, so we're just making it work. Laura's also out of town vacationing her life away for like the second time in a month, so it's just me and Jenna. I'm going to just be quiet and let Jenna go, and we'll make this short because you guys have been plugging in each week and you see us enough anyway. So go ahead, Jenna.
Perfect. So we talked about this at Summit, and it was basically about creating high performance coaches. And they just gave a few tips here and there that I jotted some notes down of that I'm kind of just going to share with you guys and see how we can just make this better our business. So the first three things that they really did hound on was developing a mindset, creating a culture, and setting the bar high. And I think just going off of these three components, you can kind of just, elaborate more on that and really hit home with it. So basically they started off, I remember Scottie Hobbs was saying something along the lines of mindset. And when Lindsay, his coach, was talking to him about, setting goals and why he was doing this, he basically told her that he wanted to make 10 grand additional to bring his wife home so his wife didn't have to work, which is, pretty much a goal all of us are going through right now. We either want to bring our husbands homes or we don't want to be working in that corporate world anymore, and we kind of just want to do this and make this our passion. So she was basically telling him, if that is your goal to make the extra $10,000, basically that you need to change your mindset to make that happen. So I can't guarantee you $10,000, but instead I can guarantee you that the amount of income you make is a direct reflection of how many people you help. So the more that you're putting yourself out there, the more you're actually going to make your income, and the more people you're going to be able to change their lives as well, which is what we're all here for. We're all here to change lives. So we start with you. If you want to create high performance coaches, you yourself have to be one. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a 15-star or an elite or this or that. It basically just means that you need to live the life of a high performance coach. So you need to do what you're asking everyone else to do as well. You need to focus on adding value and helping others. Help everyone. Don't just narrow it down to helping those who purchase from you. And I know we get caught up in that mindset a lot too, where a friend of yours might have bought a Beachbody program just from the infomercial, or they've had one laying around, maybe they streamed it somehow. And I know it really gets under our skin and we get upset about those things. We have every right to. This is our business and we're trying to expand. But it doesn't mean that you can just let them go and not want to help them as well. Scottie actually bought, I want to say it was P90X that he started with. And he just had it laying around. He never bought it from his upline, Lindsay. And yet she helped him for a full year until he finally decided to make the commitment to becoming a coach. So you just always want to make sure that you're in arm's reach to those who need us, because if you shut the door to people, what's that saying about you? You're not being a good coach. You're not helping. You're not doing what we're here to do. And we definitely don't want that playing a role or hindering our business in any way. So next off would be just to believe that you can achieve at that high level. Don't doubt yourself. Put those good vibes out there. Strut around and tell yourself you're a diamond coach, whether you just started yesterday or not. Let it be known that these are your goals and you're going to reach them. Don't be afraid to make these huge goals. They are all possible. You see all the success stories that are going around. So don't ever sell yourself short of anything like that. Trust that you're capable of developing these styles of coaches. You have all of the tools thanks to your coach and thanks to your group and your network and all of us around you to be able to make high performance coaches. There's just so much that Beachbody in our back office offers us, as well as far as the tools go, to expand and utilize them in order to get that information out to everyone else. So don't think that you're not capable. Everyone is capable of having a badass team. Trust me, it's possible and it's going to happen, but you have to tell yourself it's going to happen, and then you have to live out that dream as well. Also, new coaches, you want to inspire them. You want to let them know all the success stories that we've heard about, all the great potential that there is, how amazing it is to be in the situation that they are in. You don't want to start off on a bad foot. You don't want to, be negative from the beginning or be flaky or not reachable or anything of that nature. You want to set the tone and the expectations high always. Relate with personal development. This is a big thing that I'm currently struggling with, but I know how crucial it is to the business because I've heard it 3,000 times while I was at Summit and just overall in our groups. Personal development is huge. Grab a book, start reading. There's so many options out there. And I know there's a good at least 5 or 6 that we talk about often in the group that you just start with. Why not? Take 30 minutes out of your day. Get some reading done. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to make your business grow. It's going to help others that are following in your footsteps. It's just a good path to be on. And like we said, just lead by example. What you do, your coaches will do as well. So that starts from the very beginning with your GSR calls. Make sure you're doing them. How many of us out there are forgetting to do them or postponing them because we're busy or half-assing them because, we really only have 15 minutes to give when we should be giving this person, at least 45 minutes to an hour. Make sure they're done right. Make sure you know what you're going to talk about in the GSR call. Don't just pick up, your Zoom or your phone call or however method you're using and start babbling about nonsense. You want to stay focused. Make sure you're sending them out a welcome email. How many people forget to do this step? It happens. Let me tell you, I'm almost positive I did not send Erin or Deneen a welcome email. And I kick myself in the ass for it all the time because then I have to go back and ask these rhetorical questions that I should have known from the very beginning. And I could have set them up much better if I had gotten that done as a first priority. So really quick, because I know these are little things that, they're self-explanatory, but a lot of times we forget just about the basics, so to go over them. So in your GSR call, because I sometimes struggle with this where, I think I have all these great ideas and I know exactly what I want to talk about, but then I lose focus and we're talking about this and we're talking about that. And now we're getting sociable and forget the GSR. Now it's just, chatty Cathy time. But in our GSR calls, we want to make sure we're reviewing the business quick starts, letting them know what's available to them. We want to ask them to share their why. This is so important in every aspect of this. Why are they doing this? What motivates them? Knowing that will help you push them along. Personalize their action plan from their why. You don't want to give everyone a generic action plan. That's not going to help. You want to listen to them and you want to know exactly what they need from you and need from this business in order to give them an action plan that's going to work for them. Share success stories. That is one of the biggest motivators. Let them know that, hey, my coach started off as, X, Y, and Z only a year ago, and here she is now. Like, this is a real person who I know who did this, who I knew had the same struggles as you, and she made it happen. Hey, here's this other girl that we just heard about. She's only, she's in my upline, and she just got inducted into the Millionaires Club within 2 years of doing this. Imagine hearing that as a new coach. It's so fresh, and it just makes you want to strive even harder to hit those goals. I mean, Frances even told me about just when she hit her emerald and when, she was going for diamond, how fast she hit this and little things like that, just the competitiveness. It's like, yes, I want that too. I can totally do that too. And the momentum from that is just amazing what's going to happen. Explain challenge groups. Not all of our coaches come from a challenge group aspect. Some just come from the coach wanting ads that we get. So a lot of them don't understand that concept, and that is huge. We should be hosting them at least once a month, if not one fitness challenge group and an additional like clean eating or water challenge or anything like that as well monthly. So let them know how they're run. Let them know how, they help others and how they help us as well. Describe the importance of hitting Success Club. Let me tell you, Success Club is a non-negotiable. And it really upsets me when I don't hit it every month because I just feel so disappointed in myself. But really set that bar high from the beginning. Tell them, It's a must. You have to hit Success Club 10 in order to, fulfill that why that you're going after. Who cares about SC5? Pretend that doesn't even, that doesn't even happen, We hit SC10 here. That's where I'm telling you the bar is at. You don't even need to know about SC5. They're a new coach. They're not going to know these terms. Set the bar really high for them. Let them know why it is important to hit Success Club 5. There's little facts here and there of information that they were talking about, people who hit Success Club every month do 23 times better than those who don't. Like your income increases by 23. I think it was like 23 times more. That's a huge deal. That's like really, really huge. Emphasize success starters for those that are new. Let them know that, hey, this awesome trip to Summit that literally, lit the fire under my ass. It could happen for you too. And you can go there for free if you just hit Success Club in your first 3 months of coaching. That's where I see you being, and I know you can hit it. So just make sure you're verbalizing that to them and letting them know that this is your goal for them as well as their goal for themselves. And then utilize the tools in your back office. I think these are downplayed a lot because we do have so many great files in all of our groups. But that back office, man, it's got a lot of hidden gems that we can all definitely use more often. And most importantly, follow up. Follow up after your GSR. Follow up after you're setting them up for their first week of success. Follow up after 2 weeks. Just keep making sure that you're in touch and you are there for your new coaches. So basically that is about developing our mindset. And now we want to basically talk about creating a culture for our group. We stressed a lot of this as well. And they basically were trying to let us know in so many ways that people don't do what you say, people do what you do. And that is our role as a leader to start doing things. You want things to be done, then you need to do them yourself and others will follow. Creating your culture, you need to figure out what you want your team culture to be. What do you want your coaches to be doing? Who do you want on your team? Like attracts like. And I can't tell you how much everyone is harping right now on The Secret and the law of attraction. They spoke about that at Summit, and I know a lot of my friends keep talking about it too. But it's true. Who are these people that you want on your team? Do you want them to be as driven as you? Do you want them to have the same goals in mind as you? Not necessarily exactly the same, but the general picture. They also spoke about, which was my favorite thing ever, well, the quote was, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So keep working hard and your team will follow and do the same and work hard with you. Set the bar high. We can't stress this enough. You gotta aim for the stars, man. Set realistic expectations. However, don't set some crazy goal that you know is not going to be achievable. You want to feel successful and you want to be able to check these things off. Remind your new leaders that they are their own boss. We've had bosses for so long, whether it's at work or your loved ones kind of seem like a boss sometimes. But you don't want that anymore. You want this to be your business and you need to grow it as is. Also, you can go out and flat ask them, do you want a boss? I mean, most of them are probably going to say no, and that's great because we're not here to be babysitters. Yes, I will lead you and I will guide you and I will give you all of the tools that you need to be successful, but I'm not going to babysit you the entire time. You need to treat this like it's your business because it is. And the only way to grow your business is to reach deep within and make it happen. Lead by example, which we've gone over multiple times, and be consistent. No one likes people that are flaky, inconsistent, and you really do lose that trust barrier. So make sure that you're consistent with your posts. Make sure you're consistent with your habits. Make sure you're consistent with checking up. Just be consistent because this is a business. And let's just say you went to like your local favorite business or your local store or whatever it may be, and you're used to them doing something from X time to X time. So you're going in through those times and they're not there for you or they're not open. So you're like, all right, maybe something happened, cool. So you go back a few days later and again, something like that happens again. Now you're seeing their inconsistencies and you just don't feel as obligated to go to them anymore, or you just don't feel comfortable going with them. And we never want that to be the case in this business. We always want our leaders, our challengers, our everything to be able to come to us and speak to us whenever they need. Success Club is a must, and stress the importance of daily activities. Your power hour, your vital behaviors, these are all things that need to be done. Make a checklist for them. You know, give them a 30 days calendar of, hey, here, this is exactly what you need to do. This is exactly what I do. And together we can build on this business and make it exactly what we want. Those you can find, I mean, they're everywhere. I think we have a few set up in this group as well. But just make sure that they're being done. Check back in weekly. You know, have them even send you a list of people that they've contacted this week, just to make sure that things are going right and that things are exactly what you need them to be. Don't be afraid to be a leader. I think that's something that we get into our heads far too often, is that we cannot be the person that we think that we want to be. And that's just not the case. You can be anything that you set your mind to. Act out on those leadership roles, be that leadership role, and you will then create more leaders to follow. I think that's really all that I had. It really is just starting with you and then moving down from there, and ensuring that, you know, your new coaches are just set up for success the best way that they can.
That's it? You done? You made it. Thank you. So yeah, I definitely think that probably the biggest part for creating high performance coaches is, number one, leading by example, because like Jenna said, they're not going to do what you say, they're going to do what you do, you know? And it's just like having kids. You can tell them to behave a certain way all they want, but they're not going to do that. They're going to replicate the actions that they see you taking. So if you want a team who's full of leaders and who's full of action and just like hitting goals and crushing them, you need to be taking the steps necessary as well and showing them and sharing them what you are doing so that they can duplicate the process. And I also think that creating independence in your team is huge for this whole concept of creating high performance coaches, because you need to trust your coaches to take a leadership role and also encourage them as well. Because if they feel like they have to always come to you and like you're their boss, they're never going to want to step up and be leaders themselves, because they're going to feel like that's not their role. So encourage leadership from the beginning. You know, you can ask them to speak on your team Zoom. If you don't have team Zooms yet, start them. You can ask them to post in the group about a certain topic. You can shout them out in the team page for recognition. Anything that will just make them feel like they're doing something right and like they're doing good. That always works in creating better coaches, because it's that little boost of confidence. Jenna, unless you have anything else to add on, I think we're done.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, and thanks, Jenna. And we will be back on next week. Bye, guys.
See ya.